Hey guys, welcome back to Sparks and Recreation. Today we're going to go over this 392 Durango that I've owned for 2 years and put 38,000 miles on. We're going to answer a couple questions I get about it pretty often. One, is it the ultimate family driver? And two, how quick is it? Today we're here doing its 7th oil change since I've owned it. Unfortunately, it does take that Pennzoil Zero Ash 040 oil, so 7 quarts of that in an oil filter normally comes to around 80 bucks. So one downfall of this thing is that they're kind of expensive to do oil changes on for a American vehicle. So Chrysler claims this is the only acceptable oil for SRT products. Anyways, it takes about 7 quarts. Got that done. We have used the Mobil 1 Euro in when this was on back order during the pandemic. I didn't see any actual difference, but anyways, other than that one oil change, we've always used this. The next major maintenance on this is going to be the brakes. They're getting pretty hammered at this point. We do drive this all winter because when the Hellcat is off the road, it is our all-year family truckster. So unfortunately, that is going to have some havoc on things like brakes, exhaust. It's going to see rust. We live in upstate New York. So like I said, this is the family vehicle at this point. We use it for everything. Running kids around the hockey, it's a complete disaster in here. Was towing a food trailer back from Florida with it only about 3 weeks ago and got a big rock chip right in the center of it, and it splintered the next time it got below freezing, so we gotta deal with the windshield on this. Somewhat unfortunate. We are sitting at just about 38,000 miles, at 37,963, so we're out of warranty on the thing. Alright, so for this little launch, and we're gonna do like a launch 0 to 100. In track mode, I am not going to use the actual launch control. I have used it before, but it's really violent, and honestly, this is our daily driver. Every time you use that, there's a chance of breaking the tranny. I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just gonna kind of do like almost like an old school brake boost. Just hold the brake, get the converter to start, you know, winding up, and then we'll take off. All right, it was a long drive, but we're in Mexico. Let's go. That's 100. These cars really do rip. It's amazing it's a third row seat. This car, getting on the highway, will gap most stock like WRXs, STIs, GTIs, S4s. You know, the mid $20,000 to $30,000 performance car. Unfortunately, it costs about, at the time when I bought this, these are like 70 or 80 grand. But it's an SUV, so will it beat a $70,000 sports car? Probably not. But it will keep up with most what is considered fast traffic. It's pretty fun. Alright, so we did that. Let's do a 40 roll and see how that responds. Pretty quick. So one of the major questions I get all the time when talking about this car is what's the gas mileage? This is just normal driving over the last about 2,000 miles. 12.8, which is not terrible, not great either, about the same as driving a pickup truck. If you notice, see how it says 4-cylinder right here for 4-cylinder? There is a way to make it so it never does the displacement on demand, which is what eats up the cams in these things. So I have it on currently to show you that it does do that. I do not recommend it. Most of the cam failure that you hear about in these 6.4s is due to that. So in order to take it off on this vehicle, all you have to do is go into any mode other than eco or auto. So if you just run in sport mode, it will take this off. Simple as hitting SRT, get the page to come up, sport. I get the same exact gas mileage whether it's 4-cylinder or 8-cylinder. There is no difference. When driving to Florida to go to Disney World and all highway driving, we have gotten 22 miles a gallon with this in V8 mode only. Obviously you have all your options that there's 100 videos of these, how to go through the different SRT pages. The one thing you cannot change is the motor. There's no, I mean, like even if you go to track, see how that's not highlighted? You can only change like transmission shift points, the differential, that type of stuff. Make the suspension a little stiffer and your shift points a little higher. So let's go over some of the issues that we've had with this vehicle. From day one, within 1,000 miles, the left rear, the most rearward left side glass that's next to the third row seat, that was not sealed from the factory the first time we took it to a car wash. Soap and everything came into the vehicle. Second issue that we've had, the passenger headlight, the actual housing is not sealed properly and gets condensation in it. The Uconnect system is okay, but there's a lot of times where it'll glitch and just will not pick up the phone signal. So you actually have to hold both the power button and the tune button at the same time for about 15 seconds. Does a factory reset. Well, it's not really so much a factory reset. I guess I should say it's more of a hard start. Keeps all your settings, but it'll show up like the whole Stellantis on accident. Like these must be programmed somewhat strange, because I've done that before and the Hellcat logo showed up. This is not a Hellcat. I don't know what's going on with the Uconnect, but if you ever have an issue where it's not connecting, it won't be like, it'll only do the phone, won't do your Bluetooth for your music, whatever that type of issue is. If you literally do a hard start on it, it will fix that issue. It'll reconnect. And honestly, other than those little bugs, the only other problem we had was the battery had died on it about 6 months after we bought it. And if the battery dies in this vehicle, you have to take it and get it reprogrammed at Chrysler, because it resets all of the controls for, if the battery goes completely dead, your autonomous cruise, your lane assist, the things that I shut off every time I drive it, all that stuff has to be recalibrated, and it will throw check engine lights and ABS lights until you take it to the dealer. You cannot do it on your own. So if you have to replace the battery in this, you really need to keep a tender on it on the terminals, because you cannot let it go completely dead when you switch the battery out. That was $300, and there was no getting around it, just for having a dead battery and needing a jump. Alright, so how have I put 40,000 miles on this thing in only 2 years? Well, first off, I've taken it to Disney World twice, Key West once, Kansas City once, Boston about 3 times, and then just our normal daily driving with the kids, getting them to soccer, getting them to hockey, doing on the weekends in the summer. This tows a 8,000 pound enclosed race trailer every weekend up to like 200-300 miles. This is the condensation that we got going on. This needs to be replaced or resealed. See how this one's not doing that? The fit and finish on these is not worth the 100 grand they were charging a couple years ago. I'll tell you that much. This is the glass that was leaking within 1,000 miles of getting it. Damages I've done, I've run it through shitty car washes when I shouldn't have. Scratches all over it. But in a parking lot, it's hard to tell, but it's actually creased here. It's got a couple door dings. You know, it's being driven. I bought it to drive it. Yes, it's kind of fast, but at the end of the day, it's an SUV with third row seating for your family. We beat the ever-living piss out of it. Another thing that's annoying is I've been through 2 sets of tires at 40,000 miles, and these ones are about halfway gone already. This is a set of Toyo Proxies we put on it for this. Lasts like maybe 10,000 miles or so. Seems to be only get about 15-20,000 miles. And they do have factory camber in the rear, for sure. I know it's in the front as well, but it's more noticeable in the rear. It actually eats the inside of the tires. Even if you take it and have it changed, like you can take it to Chrysler and be like, hey, this thing's eating up my tires. They'll tell you it's factory performance camber. There's not much they can do about it. Then another issue that we have is when we were in Florida, we got rear-ended by somebody. Broke off this cover, smashed into my 7-way here, which is all corroded because this no longer shuts. I have this on order. Hopefully it'll be replaced in the spring. I need to be able to tow with it and have that electrical working by spring. So those are some of the issues we have currently, issues that it's had in its lifetime so far. And honestly, for the amount that we beat on this thing, it really is not that terrible. So when towing with this, you can do up to 10,000 pounds. I've towed about, on average, we normally tow about 8,000 pounds with the enclosed trailer and cars. And it does a pretty good job. You can definitely tell it's back there. The best setting for that is actually in the SRT page. If you go to sport mode and then put the transmission on track, I feel that is the best way to tow with the best gas mileage and the least amount of like just wear and tear on the transmission. Like I said, we've towed vehicles all the way to North Carolina. We've towed vehicles to Boston, to Kansas City, and have had no issues with the transmission at all. It still has nice crisp shifts at 40,000 miles. And really, that's pretty much where we're at. There's not much else to say. There's a million of these videos out there. I just wanted to have my real world experience making payments on this thing for 2 years. I would buy this again in a heartbeat. It is a lot of fun. It catches a lot of eyes. I'm sure all the moms at soccer practice are jealous. My wife gets to enjoy this car almost daily while I drive complete beaters most of the winter because I get to drive the Hellcat in the summer. So it is what it is. It's a good trade-off. If you have the ability to get one of these, I would definitely recommend it. Some of the older ones have pretty similar performance and a lot less money. So I would not be too scared to buy one that was higher miles, a couple years older, as long as you know the oil changes have been done. Like I said, we've already done like 7 oil changes as we do it every 5,000 miles. I could care less what the little thing tells you. As soon as it starts to look dark in any way, we change it. And that's the best way to keep these things running. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little, walkthrough of the 21 Durango SRT 392 we've had for a couple years now. Racing videos will be starting back up here in a few months. We plan on doing another Make It or Break It, which is a series where we buy a car sight unseen out of state, like complete fool, show up with just some basic hand tools and our cameras and find a way home with it. So we'll catch you in the next one. Comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate you.